Hello traders out there in Traderland, D7 here with Grok trading. Wow, what an end to the markets we had on Friday. Everybody was up, especially small caps and financials, up big time with the VIX volatility index, the fear indicator down a staggering what was it, 15? What is it? The VIX is down almost 15%. Holy smokes. Fear disappeared on Friday in a big, meaningful way. Let's get after the technicals. This is the Spiders S&P 500 ETF exchange traded fund, and this index traded security gives us volume. I love being able to see volume with the price action. That helps me. Volume confirms price action. Price action is only as good as the volume. We need price action and volume. Price action and volume is the secret. Learn that. If you learn price action and volume better than anybody else, you will do better than anybody else out there. Why do I say that? Indicators and oscillators are byproducts. Are byproducts of fancy calculations, formulas, programs, algorithms. That's made up with raw data. Raw data, price, volume. You cannot extrapolate anything down any more than price and volume. Those two things, raw data. Focus on raw data. If you do that, it'll serve you well. Now, if you need, incorporate indicators and oscillators, or oscillators, not and. Incorporate anything that will help increase your probabilities in trading, okay? I've got the mentor hat on right now. Those things act as supports to help you become more efficient and effective in the markets as a whole. Don't allow them to bastardize your trading. Do not lean into them too much just as a crutch or training wheels, okay? Sometimes people use indicators and oscillators, and they are training wheels, and they'll keep you upright. They'll keep you in the right direction, okay? But listen what I'm getting ready to say here. You won't win any bike races with training wheels on, okay? Let that sink in. So what we're looking at, that was my mentor hat. That's what we're known for, is mentoring. But anyway, the indicators here is this, or the indications rather on the price action is this. We had this big rising wedge. We had this rising wedge. We blasted through it. The last couple of weeks have been on fire. Just a fantastic run in this market with confirming volume. Look how volume is going higher, 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 higher. That's what we want. Market's going higher, 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 higher. That's just what we want. It's looking great. What I love that happened on Friday, guys, we poked our head up over resistance. Resistance was from this point to this point. If I go to a line chart, you'll see we hit once. Oh, one of our followers, he might be a student, I'm not sure. Oh, I should have looked at your name before I came in. Says, you're killing me not using control. I'm using control on TradingView, and I'm using TradingView. There's a link down in the description. But it pops, and it will just snap to these areas for you so you don't have to do it. But look how the line has popped up over the top of this. That is amazing. Really, really, really super, uber cool, right? That means we're breaking the rising wedge, which is the bearish formation. You can't call it bearish anymore if it stays above that trend line. Now, if it comes back down, that's a jab, and it can get bearish really quickly, okay? You have to understand that no one knows the future of the markets. Here, D7 putting on the mentorship hat again. But if you think you know the future, I beg to differ. I've been trading 23 years in this markets using technical analysis, putting real money in the markets to trade. And guess what? I'm still here doing so. Please listen to what I'm getting ready to tell you. If you think you know tomorrow, you're smoking the wacky weed. Listen, no one does. So if you can allow that to be a reality for you, then you don't have to be right emotionally, mentally. You don't have to be right. You trade with the probabilities stacked in your favor. The byproduct of trading will be more wins. In other words, you will have more profits. In other words, you will have more money in your account, okay? So understand it that way. Don't go into trading that because X happened, then Y is certain. There is nothing in the markets more certain than the uncertainty of the markets. Whoa, where'd that come from? That should be a meme. Anyway, so we have a trend line going up here, up, 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 up. We broke it. What that tells me is now the odds are in the bull's favor. The odds now are we're going to go higher in the S&P 500. In other words, 500, the largest blue chip companies out there today, making up the S&P 500, all said we broke over a resistance line. Woo! That's good news. Bulls now, at this moment, at this juncture of time, have the advantage. If we stay above that line, this line right here, this line right there, right? If we can stay above it, we are all systems go. We need to stay above that line. Okay. What I like to do is go to a higher time frame to see what am I seeing on the higher time frame to help build an argument on the bullish or bearish side to see if it's incongruent with one another or if they are in conflict with one another. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is immediately go over to the weekly chart and let's look at a candlestick and let's open this dude up. Okay. We had a rising wedge on the weekly chart on the S&P 500. We hover, so here, it's better to show you a line chart so you can really see it better, okay? I want you guys to follow me here. Resistance, support, 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 resistance, resistance, okay? Look how we stay at the area of support. Support, 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 and it finally gave up the ghost. It dropped. So I like to look at support and resistance like a super uber bouncy ball. Okay, so have a ceiling and you have a floor. Okay, I don't know how far you can see my hand. Yeah, you can see my hand here. Okay. Have a ceiling and a floor. The super duper uber bouncy ball goes up, hits the ceiling, floor, ceiling, floor, ceiling, floor, ceiling, floor, ceiling, floor, and it never stops. But one day you walk into the room and you see the ball just hitting the floor. It's no longer hitting the ceiling. It's just staying on the floor, bouncing down. The question is, what direction does it want to go? It wants to go down because it's trying to get down, right? That's what we're seeing here on this chart. We come here, we're hitting floor, ceiling, floor, 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 floor. It finally broke through the floor. It's in the basement. But it rallies back up. Do you see this? It rallies back up. Now it's hitting this line that was support, now acting as resistance. 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 There builds a big argument that this is a place that we've had this nice run on the weekly chart to the upside. We're hitting our head at resistance. The bears should be getting more confident. If that's the case, you're going to see more bearish plays happening. If you see more bearish plays happening and they outweigh the bullish sentiment, you will see a drop commence. That's what will happen. Okay? So that's what we're seeing on the larger time frame. Now, if I go over here, go back to the candlesticks, and I want to go back to the dailies and look at this. So the daily on the S&P 500, we broke resistance. So that's telling me is you're telling me there's a chance. You're telling me that there's a chance if you know the term. So for you Gen Xers, you probably do. Baby boomers, not so much. And guarantee you Gen Zs are zero, or millennials. Millennials too. You get that. You're telling me there's a chance. But anyway, here it is. We busted over. It's the dumbest movie you'll ever see in your life. There's your tip. But it pops over. That is bullish, but we're not out of the woods yet on the weekly chart. Okay, they need to play well together. So that's the big picture. You guys can leave right now. You're done. You've got the big picture. But let's go to diamonds. Diamonds. What's interesting is we broke over a resistance line and we're going up. We're heading up, 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 up. We're still in this little tight rising wedge. We need to blast through this trend line and this one. So we're above moving averages. That's great on the Dow, 30. But we're Friday was a big day. For Friday to break over on such big volume is a big plus. And I can't help but to look at the diamonds on the weekly. Let's just look at them while we're here. We broke support. We hit a area, or we broke support. We bounced off of this area of support, and we're just heading upwards at this resistance area. Do you guys see this? You know what I'm going to do? I think it would behoove us. I'm hitting control, boom, and oh, we got over that line. Come on. So that's good. If I go to the line chart, yeah, look at that. Resistance. We got over that resistance. Bullish on the weekly chart, okay? More bullish than is bearish on the weekly chart on the diamonds. Really, it's fantastic to see. Fantastic to see. Nasdaq. Let's look at this. Nasdaq bounced up. It's melting upward. That's all this is. Anything that's in a tight trading range and just going up and doing this, no big up legs, no big down legs, none of that. It's more just this, chop, 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 up. It's melting upwards. As long as it's melting upwards, we're all good, okay? As long as we're doing that, we're fine. The weekly chart, I didn't plan to do this much weekly, but we're up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars with almost a spinning top type candlestick reversal pattern. But what's interesting here is we're above this area. So this rising wedge is no longer a rising wedge, but it should act as support. It come up here, maybe pull back a little bit, maybe build a high base. It could still keep going higher. The odds of it just rallying straight north forever is unlikely, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. Of course, anything can happen in the markets. Always know that. Always believe that to your core. So this is the Russell's 2000. So these are small caps. If you notice here, for some time we've just been churning sideways. We're caught up in the moving averages. You can see this here, caught up in the moving averages. So all small caps are caught up there. But we have a pretty good floor here. We got a pretty good resistance, and we're in what's called a trading range. So we're right now trading between 220 and 230 area. It's basically the trading range, support and resistance. What we're going to find is this area, because one thing I can probably do right now, it's a little early for you guys that are Grok graduates. I want you to don't tell me in the results. I don't want you to tell me, but you'll know why this is. I'm too early for this trend line, but I'm getting ready to draw it. Okay, so hold down Control, do that. Hold down Control, and there it is. So I'm going to draw that trend line, but it's too early. It's too early to draw that one, but I have a pretty good idea that trend line will be a good trend line. So if that happens to be there, if we do continue higher, this will be a symmetrical triangle. Look for a breakout or a breakdown. Look for some movement. So this will start building a lot of power and strength. You can, any of you use Bollinger Bands, I haven't used them for years, but if you still use them, watch for the condensing or the squeezing on the Bollinger Band indicator, and that might be of interest to you. The financials, markets are only as strong as the financials, right? Oh, you know what? I have to do the weekly. Let's just look at the weekly while we're doing it. So we're up, up, up. We're building what is called a large bull pennant on the small caps weekly chart, guys. This could be really bullish. The thing I want to share with you, I'm putting on the mentor hat. Boom. All right. Look at a block of candlesticks, and if they're all together, look at them and say, do you have more lower shadows or do you have more upper shadows? That will tell you the sentiment of that congestion. All right, let's take a look at this. We're looking at this, all this candlesticks. Yes, far more lower shadows or lower wicks. They're technically called lower shadows. There's far more of those than upper shadows. So in other words, people, institutions mainly, are buying up that weakness. Anytime there's weakness, they're buying it. Weakness, buying it. Weakness, buying it. That's what we're seeing over and over and over again. So anytime you get a pennant formation, up, 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 there's your flag pull. You get the pennant flag, more bullish, and it is bearish. Doesn't mean it's going to go bullish. It's so funny how you guys sometimes, well, you said this was going to happen and something else happened. Of course, that's how trading works. Trading works as you don't know what tomorrow is going to be. You need to be okay with that. advance in your understanding and education. Advance! And do yourself the biggest favor ever. Invest in yourself first before you start trading, because you're in here with sharks. And we don't play nicely. We are playing to win. And if you are playing against people who are more educated than you in the markets, that's on you. If you lose your money, that's on you. Trade small amounts, paper trade until you're making profits. Do not gamble. If you gamble, that means you're putting money in there before you've educated yourself. You put money in there before you have the odds stacked in your favor. You're a gambler. Go to Vegas. They'll give you free drinks. Okay? They might even comp a room. This, you're not getting anything. It's just going to smack you red and send you home crying every time. I promise you that. If you haven't lost a trading account before in your life and you're just getting started in trading, I promise you, you will lose that trading account. People have the odds stacked in their favor. It is a losing proposition to be going head to head with those individuals in the markets. I love you guys. When I say that, I mean that sincerely. Some of you have been following me forever, 10 plus years. How long have you been following us here at Grok Trade? I just want to know, have you only been with us 1 week, 1 month? Have you been with us over a year, 5 years? Put in if you've been with me, how long? How long have you been following me? And extra bonus points if you can say, I remember when, and give me, I remember when, whatever. And that's awesome. So anyway, the market's only as strong as financials. I'm going to start with the weekly chart on the financials. We broke support on the financials. This is the XLF, biggest financial ETF on the Nasdaq that's out there today. This had last month or so has been pretty brutal, but we've rallied up the last few weeks, and they're starting to buy that weakness. We need to stay above the 20-week moving average, and we need to get back above that trend line, guys. That support, we broke support. Now it's the resistance. We got to get back above that on the financials to really stay bullish in this market, and we got to get above this high. I don't mind if it takes us a while to get up there where we just melt upwards. That's okay. I don't mind that. Let's make that happen. That'd be great, right? But that needs to happen. If we go below that 20-day moving average, woe to the markets, because the markets are only showing us financials there to support them. And if we don't have that support, anything can happen. It's usually bad in the markets. Usually bad. Let's look at the daily and see if we can get any guidance here on financials. So this is so cool, guys. So we have this little symmetrical triangle. Friday we broke over the top. Do you see that? We broke over the top. So you can see it in a mind. You can see the line. See how it pops over there? Let me blow it up so you can really see this dude. Popped over the line. Popped over. So that's great. That's really nice and bullish. I love that. We have this swing high to get over. We have the 50-day moving average to get over. We have that to get over. Okay, we have some things to get over. So if we can keep rallying up, the volume last couple of days have been good. I like everything I'm seeing here, as long as it keeps going that direction. See these two trend lines? That price right there needs to stay above these two lines. That's what's important to me. Cannot believe you guys are still watching me. If you made it to the end, just say, I made it. I made it. If you made it, you guys are crazy. Who listens to this for 20 plus minutes? I mean, who does, really? Silver is just taking a beating, guys, and it's just chopping sideways. Needs to stay above this red line. Needs to get above the moving averages. Gold, down, kind of is rallied up. Now we have this symmetrical triangle. We're at a resistance area. It should drop again, but it needs to get above that trend line and those moving averages. It's the same. VIX, volatility, came up, hit its head, and dropped. We're down. I mean, guys, we're going to be, if we keep on this trajectory, we'll be down at the 15s before you know it. Holy smokes, that's pretty good. If you look at this, Thursday, it got a little crazy, right? And then came back down. And so there's some scare early. Bitcoin, for you guys in Bitcoin, is just a whole lot of nothing going sideways. This is not a buy opportunity yet for Bitcoin or Ethereum. However, I'm a long-term, I'm a hodler, and I'm looking to start up for my kids Roth IRAs. I'm looking at Kingdom Trust. I have no affiliation with them, but they allow us to do Roth IRAs. And it allows us to put crypto and buy crypto with them. And they're out of Kentucky, I think, Kingdom Trust. But I'm just now doing my research on them. And so that's it. So anyway, that's it. Let's talk. I did all my talking. I don't have to do a monologue at the end. You guys are troopers. If you made it to the end, say you made it to the end and tell me how long you've been watching. Really interesting. And you know how to find us if you're ready to get mentoring and you want to go that extra step. But yeah, I do. I love you guys all. It's funny because I'll put up a picture right now. There it is. I'm speaking that into existence because I have to do that through editing. This is Susan. So Susan is a student of ours. She's only been watching, what did she say, under 6 months maybe? And she went through the mentorship with Romulus and then went through Mark's mentorship. And but she's been watching us for I think 3 to 6 months. I can't remember what Susan said. And but I have moved to Tampa. So I'm in Tampa, and she says, "Whoa, I'm in Naples, and can I come up and meet you?" So we had a delightful lunch, and that's Valerie who works with us. And anyway, it was delightful to meet you, Susan, and I'm so glad you made the 2-hour drive just to come say hi and to spend some time together. So, and thank you for the gifts, by the way. My daughters and wife love them. So thank you so much. All right. Take care, guys, and we will see you next time. We'll see you. Bye.